The locks have been changed, the invitations have stopped coming, and the man who once lived at the heart of the monarchy is now finding himself a stranger in his own home. Within the gated walls of the royal estate, a quiet but brutal eviction is taking place, and it's led to an explosive confrontation that no one was supposed to hear about. For the first time, the frustration has boiled over, leaving one figure isolated, desperate, and backed into a corner. As the family draws a hard line in the sand, the reaction from the man at the center of the storm is as shocking as the exile itself. But as he fights to hold on to the last remnants of his former life, a massive question remains. How far will the monarchy go to erase his presence entirely? The locks are being changed, and for the first time in his life, Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor has nowhere left to hide. What was supposed to be a standard royal transition has spiraled into a bitter, high-stakes standoff behind palace doors. It all started at Wood Farm, a modest cottage on the Sandringham estate that has long served as a sanctuary for the inner circle. But this year, the sanctuary became a battlefield. Edward and Sophie had planned a quiet Easter retreat at the residence. It was a simple, routine arrangement for senior working royals, but when they arrived, they were met with a shocking reality. The doors weren't just closed, they were occupied. Despite being ordered to move to Marsh Farm weeks ago, Andrew was still there. He wasn't just visiting, he was refusing to leave. Imagine the scene, a senior royal couple forced to turn away from their own family estate and book a public holiday rental because a disgraced relative refused to vacate the premises. This wasn't just an inconvenience, it was a calculated act of defiance that sent shockwaves through the firm. Insiders say Edward finally reached his breaking point. He didn't send a letter or a lawyer, he reportedly walked right up to the door for a face-to-face showdown. The quiet word that followed was anything but gentle. It was the sound of the hierarchy finally snapping into place. For Andrew, the realization was chilling. His brother wasn't just asking him to move, he was telling him that his status was gone. But as the dust settled on this property dispute, a much darker reality began to surface. Because while the family was fighting over floor plans, the King and the Prince of Wales were making a far more permanent decision, and the distance they were creating was about to become an unbridgeable chasm. The family isn't just keeping their distance, they are treating his presence like a radioactive threat. While Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor was busy digging his heels in at Wood Farm, the rest of the monarchy was executing a masterclass in total erasure. For the first time, we aren't seeing a family in disagreement, we're seeing a unified front designed to make one man invisible. King Charles isn't just busy. Reports indicate he is intentionally staying miles away on the very same estate, refusing to acknowledge the man he once shared a childhood with. But the real chill comes from the next generation. Prince William and Kate are reportedly maintaining a wall of silence from nearby Anne Hall. No visits, no calls, no recognition. It's a surgical extraction of a family member from the royal fabric. But here is where it gets truly unsettling. It's not just the brothers and the heirs turning their backs. Even his own inner circle, the people who should be his last line of defense, have seemingly vanished. The man who once lived a life of ultimate prestige is now finding out what happens when you're a royal in name only. He's being ghosted by the institution he spent 60 years serving. And as he sits in the silence of his new reality, the weight of his past associations is finally starting to crush his future. The reality the headlines aren't fully capturing is that Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor is no longer just a social outcast. He is a man under active criminal investigation. The walls aren't just closing in, they are becoming a prison of his own making. In February 2026, the unthinkable happened. He was arrested on his 66th birthday. The charge? Suspicion of misconduct in public office. We aren't talking about old headlines anymore. We're talking about an investigation into whether he leaked high-level government trade secrets to a convicted criminal. This is exactly why the king's distance isn't just a choice, it's a legal necessity. Reports suggest the police are currently combing through a staggering 3 million pages of unsealed documents. Within those files are emails that appear to show Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor forwarding confidential reports from his time as a trade envoy directly to Jeffrey Epstein. If proven, this isn't just a scandal, it's a violation of the Official Secrets Act, a crime that carries the weight of a potential life sentence. The tension has reached such a peak that the British government is now openly moving to strip him of the one thing he has left, his place in the line of succession. Behind the scenes, the desperation is reportedly through the roof. He is said to be making near-daily pleading calls to the king, calls that the palace has described as deeply unwelcome. He is fighting for his survival, and even his closest allies are pulling away. For the first time in generations, the York brand has been officially labeled as toxic. This was made clear during the recent Easter period, where his own daughters, Beatrice and Eugenie, were noticeably absent from his side. They weren't just missing, they were reportedly told their presence would overshadow the monarchy's future. As he sits in isolation on the Sandringham estate, the man who once thought he was untouchable is realizing that the firm has moved on without him. But while the family prepares for a future that doesn't include him, a new and even more explosive development is brewing. It involves a secret defiance of the king's direct orders and a series of clandestine meetings that have left the Prince and Princess of Wales absolutely fuming. What is happening behind the closed doors of his new residence might be the final straw that breaks the monarchy's silence forever. But while the legal process grinds forward, a new and bitter battle has broken out over the one thing he has left, his place in the line of succession. He is currently 8th in line to the throne, a reality that is reportedly making the King and Prince William seethe with frustration. They are currently exploring every legal and constitutional avenue to excise him from the succession entirely. But it's not simple. Removing a royal from the line of succession involves centuries-old laws that were never designed for a scandal of this magnitude. Behind the scenes, the pressure is causing the final remnants of his world to crumble. He has reportedly been seen in his car, looking shell-shocked and haunted as he navigates a life where he is a royal in name only, but a suspect in the eyes of the law. His brothers and nephews have formed a wall of silence so absolute it has effectively erased him from the family's future. But even as he is pushed into this total isolation, there is one final desperate struggle taking place over his new living conditions, a move that has turned the Sandringham estate into a house of cards. And as he settles into a home far smaller and more exposed than anything he's ever known, the true extent of his fall is finally becoming undeniable. As the dust settles on this property dispute, one thing is clear. The man formerly known as Prince Andrew is no longer just losing his status, he is losing his place in history.
The move to Marsh Farm isn't a fresh start, it's a final banishment. While he paces the grounds of his new high-security farmhouse, he is doing so in a world that has officially moved on. From the king's wall of silence to the calculated absence of his own daughters at Easter, the monarchy has sent its most brutal message yet. They are no longer protecting him, they are surviving him. But as the legal net tightens and the public calls to strip his place in the succession reach a fever pitch, the biggest question remains unanswered. How much longer can the firm maintain this fragile distance before the mounting evidence forces an even more explosive confrontation? What do you think? Is this the final chapter for the House of York, or is there one more shock left to surface from those 3 million pages of evidence? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this deep dive into the monarchy's hidden war interesting, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Turn on notifications so you never miss the latest on the stories the palace would rather keep buried. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.